Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I will. I'm with you. I'm asking you the question. I want to maybe add some about the past, maybe.
Oh, of course, you can, I'm going to give you all the straight answers. I've only been in show business 80 years, so yeah, I don't know what I know, you know.
You know a lot. I'm sure you know a lot.
Really? Uh,
You
do you
have.
know, do you know some of my shows on
I,
television?
I've done. I have to be honest with you. I've done a research, but a
Uh-huh.
quick one, and it's. I don't have any like all the details. I know you live in Montreal at some point.
Well, I was born in
Yeah,
No, Montreal. Montreal.
Montreal. So you are a Montrealais.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was born there, but I left when I was 8 years old. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So
The whole
maybe
family.
you could.
I left for the summer,
Uh huh.
uh, and to Rhode Island near Newport, Rhode Island,
Uh
and
huh.
we bought me a little house right on the beach uh, for $25 a month.
Oh.
1938, and then we were going to come back to Montreal, and we were in a big hurricane, and we lost everything. And everybody on our block didn't make it. We were the only family that made it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's how it all started. you know,
That's.
I have a lot of stories. Have you been watching me on Instagram?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm working with my boyfriend and he is there right now. He put us on Instagram also. So yeah, I saw some of the stuff and we have somebody in common. It's Jared, I think, who I've done an interview. Jared Ramirez.
Yes, yes.
So he told me about you first, and after I've done like another, the puppet was like slapping each one, this kind of clip that we have done during the
Oh,
confinement,
yeah.
and you
Yeah,
were in it.
the lady in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
No, that was very clever, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a smart idea for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how much of a play it got, but
I
and you.
it was popular.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah. It was
okay.
like in our video. It was one of the most like seen.
So maybe I'm famous now because of it. I hope so. Okay, let me see. Am I?
Yeah, and if you have do you have a puppet with you or?
Oh, I do, and it's the very first. I'm at home, and I don't have any puppets here at home, but I have the very first puppet. No, don't show it now. It's going to be a surprise.
Okay.
My first puppet. That's how I started. She's 80 years old, and she costs $3.95.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
just if you want, you are not obligated to show it to me, but it's monitor, so it's opposite. So, but you maybe are
no,
user.
no, I'll pick it up and show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to it.
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
And how much time do you want?
I try to do half hour.
A
That
half hour.
an
Okay.
half hour. Sometimes it's go a bit longer, sometimes less, but that's the
Yeah.
target, the 30 minutes.
And I have so much of a story to be told that it can be, you know, whatever you want. You know, because I've been in show business for 80 years.
Yeah.
So I have I worked Montreal many times, and I worked there in a club, and you're gonna love this
Oh yeah.
with Edith Piaf.
Edith Piaf.
Yeah,
Huh? Oh.
and I was the opening act. Well, I was also the opening act for Judy Garland, and we played Toronto, but we didn't go to Montreal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I've been with a lot of huge stars because I started as a puppeteer, and then television, you know,
Yeah.
came 28 years later. So, and then I don't know. Do you know about Les Poupées de Paris?
I saw that on the Wikipedia. Your Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, you know that played to 9.5 million people. Yeah, we were at the Seattle World's Fair, the New York World's Fair, the San Antonio World's Fair, Broadway, Las Vegas, many cities that have played it.
Wow.
It played for 9.5 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, you saw a lot of people, a big crowd.
I hope so. That's why I could afford this house.
That's cool. That's really cool. And how is your connection? Because sometime during the interview, it's going into I don't know how to say pixel, like the image. But if you have a
Kelly knows about that. If we go into a pixel, we have
his computer. Does he look okay right now?
yeah, it just a few minutes ago it was a bit pixel, but
Okay, so the way his house is everything is wireless. There's nothing that he can connect to.
okay.
My head looks crooked.
It looks crooked because you keep messing with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
Oh, there you go.
Remember, when you're staring at here, it's because it's separated.
Yeah.
Your camera is actually here, even though she's on the side. But let me see if I can move her so that you're not looking to the side.
I'm so red.
There we go.
Yeah, sometimes it's the light for me too. I will become red a bit. It's part of I don't know the camera. Sometimes
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm 91 years old, so you just deal with it. Okay?
I deal with it for sure. Yes. So you look at the question and it's fine with you, like he.
Yeah, you can ask me anything, and I'll just answer you.
Okay.
I looked at it very quickly, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you know a lot of you're a puppeteer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know Bill Baird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's funny you name this because in like the general culture of puppetry is so different from like Canada to Europe to USA. So sometimes people like name drop like TV show that I never saw in Canada.
I don't even know. Yeah.
So sometimes I'm just like I look maybe so it depends like but like just maybe think that I don't know the stuff. Maybe we take like the audience have like non-puppeteer. You have like puppeteer in the audience, but also people who don't know anything about it. So it's
Well, that's interesting because they'll learn about it.
yeah, that's the purpose.
Yeah.
The show is also to learn about puppetry for puppeteers, but also to promote the art of puppetry, or for other people who don't know and have no clue about what we are doing.
Well, I've been all over the world.
Yeah.
With my act, I played the Lido in Paris, in Le Folie Bergère, and so and I was in a big show in London for almost a year. So I've been around, and I've seen the most incredible puppetry. Incredible.
Yeah, you have kind of also an international vision about puppetry.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's amazing. That's really really cool. I was with Cirque du Soleil.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was on a tour with them before the pandemic strike.
And it stopped everything.
Yeah.
Because I saw every Cirque du Soleil. So I know one of them had a puppet at the beginning.
Yeah, that was me.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, that was you. You know, I didn't go backstage because someone brought me up to meet Guy,
Uh-huh.
and they were excited that he was going to meet me, and he never heard of me, and he walked away. So that's all right. He's very rich. He doesn't need me.
Yeah, I think you have like other activities right now. I don't know like what will happen with Cirque, but for now we are unemployment.
5,000 people laid off in Vegas.
Yeah,
Las
yeah.
Vegas,
So I think if they will start again, but they will start with secure shows like Vegas and stuff like this. But it will take one buyer. Someone will have to buy the company, and let's see.
Oh, I thought he sold it.
Oh, Guy sold it. Guy sold everything.
Yeah.
So.
But he still runs it, right?
He was like kind of in the media talking about buying it back, but nothing is signed.
I
Nothing.
tell you something about Cirque. They came to Los Angeles and they played downtown, and they weren't doing a big audience. I went to see them because I saw them in Montreal.
Yeah.
Years before that, and you know, I travel with the Ringling Brothers Circus when the Big Top sat 15,000 people, and there were 1,800 performers in the show.
Oh my.
And so when Cirque says they have 36, we had 1,800. So it was huge. 100 clowns and 100 web girls, and you know, it was huge. And we would only come to a city for 1 day or 2 days because they played to 30,000 people. It was always sold out.
Wow.
So then when they went to the beach down in Santa Monica, I brought everybody I know to see it. So I have seen every single Cirque show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that there is. But I don't know. I think there's room for something different now. It's too many.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's getting a little repetitious.
Yeah.
Know? But it's amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, it's a big brand for sure.
Oh yeah.
I would just need a moment to prepare a little commercial about the Patreon page that we start to help puppeteers to do some online promotion. Okay. So I will do that, and after I bring you into the screen, and we discussed, and I will conclude.
I look.
Sur Patreon, va changer, t'es pas ouvert le bon en haut.
You don't look like this on
Recule. The back.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe
you can whatever, if you want to change something, we still have time.
Va sur la page, la home page.
Yeah, that's better. She's got lighting.
I will just handle this. J'aurais aimé ça le partager sur ma page à moi. Peux-tu le faire là?
Ouais, vas-y.
I would just do little technical stuff and I'm with you.
Okay.
Let's be online all over.
Oh, that is still like weird, isn't it? What is that? Yeah, that way. That.
Sorry.
Okay. So here.
Yeah. No, that's better. Not as red.
Partager maintenant, genre? Ouais, sur votre journal. Okay. So I close that.
Pas sur descend. Patreon. Clique sur le titre. Non, sur le titre. Tu vois, plus bas. Le titre est en bas. Ouais.
Ça.
Ça va ouvrir la page de... Parfait.
Ok, fait que je vais montrer ça. Okay, so it's showtime.
It's showtime.
I love you change the light. It's great. So see you in a minute.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
I'm happy too. I'm really excited about. So let's go live.
Oh.
Just yeah, let's do it. Comme ça. And we are live! Hey, hi everyone! Welcome for another episode of the Puppet Podcast. I'm so happy because we get a legend tonight. Someone really amazing. I'm so excited about meeting this wonderful person online in a live interview. Like it's the community all together. So everyone who are watching, just feel free to write into the chat any question from where you're watching it, and yeah, just be cheerful about what's going on. Yes. So before I bring my wonderful guest into the screen, I want to share with you this promotion. We do a wonderful workshop on September 6th. It's in the afternoon, so it's a Sunday, and it's about like Mr. Leo. This puppeteer is an example of a warrior who go outdoor and book some outdoor puppet show. Like between April to July, you have done like 57. Like how he managed that. I'm so curious about that. How he gets so productive in this period where we were like all over the place. So this guy has something to share with everyone. So I want everyone to have a look on this and look at the Patreon. So here is all of those wonderful questions. How he managed to create a constant flow of promotion online, and how he get jobs and get this business going about puppetry during the confinement. So have a look on this Patreon account that we start, and yes, we will enjoy this wonderful workshop really soon. It will be September 6th at 1 Eastern time. Okay, so here is the promotion about our Puppet Podcast. I have also Ellie with me right there, who is filming and putting it on Instagram, so we are all over. Everyone, tonight, I'm so glad that I have someone from Montreal, but he left Montreal when he was young, 8 years old, and he get into show business big time with puppetry, and he have a lot to say about that. So everyone, please welcome into the screen, Mr. Sid KROFFT. Ta-da-da!
Thank you so much. Applause, applause.
Applause, applause.
Is there a big audience out there? I can hear them.
Yeah, they are thousand. But everyone are at their house and they clap.
You want to know something? As a performer, we love a big audience, we love applause, and we love taking a bow.
Yes, totally true. I really miss this time. Like but we will get this back.
Oh yeah, I can almost see the light. It's gonna happen soon.
Yes, and Sid, I want you to introduce yourself to the people who are maybe new to the podcast, don't know maybe that much about puppetry. Maybe you can tell us a little bit of your path to puppetry.
Well, first of all, you're looking at somebody that's been in show business for 80 years, believe it or not. I'm 91 years old. I'm still working in the world of puppetry. I created, with my brother, 26 huge television shows here in America, and a lot of them played in Canada and all the other English-speaking countries, because you do speak English and French.
Yes.
And but how did it all start? Well, our whole family came to America from Montreal. I was born in Montreal, and we came here for the first time to spend the summer in Rhode Island.
In New York area.
Well, Rhode Island.
Oh,
Near
yeah.
Newport Beach, actually.
Yeah.
It was a little island, and there was a tiny house that my parents rented. It was $25 a month.
Oh.
Don't forget, this is 1938. $25 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is way before I was even interested in puppets. I was 8 years old, and we decided to stay a little longer that year because it was a beautiful summer. And we were caught September 21st. Our family and that island and all of the East Coast had one of the biggest hurricanes ever. And everybody on our street, we lived on a very long, long street, and there were all mansions on the street. We didn't live in a mansion.
Uh-huh.
And we were the only family that made it because everybody drowned, and because they didn't know or never experienced anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved to Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And we had nothing. I mean, just the clothes on our back. And in 1939, we were living in a little tiny apartment, and there was a couple that who were actually French that lived above us, and they didn't have any children, and they sort of adopted me because I was a dreamer, a total dreamer, even at a very young age. And this couple
Uh-huh.
had a job, and they gave us all their hand-me-downs, and he had a job opening and closing a curtain in a theater downtown Providence, Rhode Island, and he invited me. I never saw a full-length movie at that age, and he invited me if I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning. The movie was going to premiere at 8 o'clock, and I went backstage, and he snuck me into the theater, and I'm just 9 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I saw The Wizard of Oz, the first day, the first performance, and I totally freaked out as a kid because I never saw anything like it. I knew I wanted to be in that business, but I knew I wasn't an actor, and I was too tall to be a little munchkin. And so there was something about it that intrigued me.
Right.
A week later, this is an interesting story. He gave me one ticket to go to see a vaudeville show, a live show.
Yeah.
And it came from California. It was called the Megalyn Kitties. This is the woman that found Shirley Temple and all the kids stars.
Yeah.
And they did a stage show, all these little kids. And my dad dropped me off and asked a couple to bring me into the theater, and he would pick me up after the show. And the show started with these tap dancing kids that came down a staircase, and they must have had, they had their toes, the metal on their toes, but the staircase, as they danced down, I never saw anything like this again. Sparks came from their feet, and I, to this day, couldn't figure it out. Okay, then the stage went dark, and the spotlight hit a suitcase on the middle of the stage. I could see the puppeteer in silhouette. And of course it was a kid. And the suitcase opened up and a little clown came out of the suitcase and the music was playing. It blew up a balloon and the balloon broke and the clown got real sad and I started to cry so loud that the whole audience told me to shut up and I was spoiling the performance and the ushers came down and asked the couple that brought me in, is this your kid? And they said, no, we just brought him into the theater. And they threw me out. They asked me to leave. And I'm still crying. I'm sitting in front of the theater and people are walking by saying to me, oh, where's your mom? Where's your dad? Should we call the police? And I couldn't even answer them. You know, I was crying so loud for this clown. Okay, now, there was a kid on my street that had the first comic book, and it was a Superman comic book. And we would look at it every single day, but we never turned to the back of the comic book. And one day we did, and there was an ad for a Hazel marionette, $3.95. I went to my dad and I said, could I please get this marionette? And he said, he was furious with me. And he said, first of all, $3.95 is going to feed your family for weeks. And second, you are a boy and you want a dolly? And I never ever forgot that. That stuck in my head, screaming at me. Now, our parents never hit us or anything like that, but you knew when they got mad. Okay, especially my dad. So now, in that comic book, there was also an ad. If you send away for a Christmas card, 100 Christmas cards and sell them for 50 cents, you could keep a nickel. I didn't tell my family, and I sent away. I'm almost 10 years old. I sent away. I ran down to the mailbox every day, waiting for the package. And after school, it took me from July, probably to Christmas time, to save $3.95. You know, I sold my Christmas cards in the street, and then I'm going to show you. I still have the marionette. I'm going to show it to you later. It's a big tease. Right?
It's a big tease. Everyone stay until the end.
Yeah, don't you turn off. You know, don't go to another channel because you're going to hear some really crazy stories. 50 years I have. You know, we just got a star on the Walk of Fame before all this craziness happened.
Yeah.
And there were so many people there. I mean, 900 people showed up. They never saw anything like it. And I don't know why. People slept overnight. I'm not a movie star. I don't know why they wanted to be so close to look at this old gentleman. But it was amazing. The fans, we have a lot of fans out there. Okay, back to the story. So, I got my marionette. That French couple gave me a Victrola for Christmas that you wound up. And I stole a record from my mom, a singer that you liked. And now I went into the street. I'm self-taught. I know nothing about puppetry. And I'm in the street every day selling my Christmas card with my music and my little puppet that I'm going to show you. And now I'm making 75 cents a day, 50 cents a day.
Wow.
Now my dad caught on and he became my manager. I was supporting the family, you know. And now I'm a street performer, like Cirque du Soleil. That's how they started in the street.
True.
Right? Yeah. So now I'm a street performer with my little marionette, and guess which one I send away for? Her name is Dolly, because my dad said, "You want a Dolly?" And when I saw Dolly, I thought, okay, I'm going to misbehave my dad, and I'm going to get Dolly. Okay, so that's how I started.
Yes.
And now, after that, I saw ads. There was a paper, Billboard. Billboard is now music, but Billboard used to be circuses and carnivals.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about. And there were always ads in there, people selling marionettes. And I saved up, and I would buy a more professional one, and a bigger one, and a bigger one. I by myself put my a little act together. I got an agent. I was making $2 a show or $3 a show. Oh, we were millionaires because I was a puppeteer supporting the family. And so that's how it all started. And in 1945, I came to New York. Our family moved to New York. And my agent in Providence, Rhode Island, got me this 2-bit agent in the Brill building that all he had was a pad, a pencil, a telephone, and a couple of pictures behind the wall. I auditioned with my Victrola and in his office, and he said to me, "You got to get rid of the Victrola, and I don't like your name. It's not going to look good on the marquee." And he changed my name to Sid KROFFT. He did that.
Oh.
And he got it out of my real name. Okay, and then he told me I have to go get sheet music. And I said, I don't know anything about sheet music. And he said, well, you really picked some great music on your Victrola. You'll know what to do. And I said, well, what do I tell the orchestra or the band? He said, just tell them to play as written. And that's very professional. And I also want you to go get a theatrical haircut for 25 cents. I don't know, I didn't understand it. So guess where he booked me first with my puppet act? In a nightclub in New Jersey. I was only 14 years old, right? And you got to be 18 or 21. I don't know what the law was. And the owner walked into the club while I was rehearsing for the first time my music. And my dad was now my manager because we were booked there for 6 days, $10 a night, $60. I never made $60. That was like a fortune, right? For the whole week. And the owner came in and said, who's that kid up on the stage for the bartender? The bartender said, that's your act. He said, get him out of here. I don't want to lose my license. So my dad didn't want to lose the $60. And he went up to him and he said, look, it's Halloween in a couple of days. If we put a mask on him, I'm a little tiny skinny kid, and we put it, because I'm all dressed in black doing my hair, if we put a mask on him, hide him in the kitchen, and tell everybody he's deformed or he's a little person or whatever you want, right? And they kept me for the whole week locked up in the kitchen, and guess what the mask was? It was Dracula, a Dracula mask, with my black pants and my black shirt doing my act, and it was a big hit. And then after that, he books me in the Catskill Mountains, and there's all the hotels up there, and all the Jewish people in New